She didn't show up in court. She asked if she do services appear in court by telephone. She didn't show up by telephone. Nothing. So they ended up stopping the support because there's no proof at this point.
Right. Mhm.
So fast forward, again, I have my attorney, and we still trying to find out what's going on. Because, I want to know if this child is bonding or not. So we can't ever get her back in court. So my attorney was like, well, I got to pay more retainer fees, whatever. So it became more expensive. I was like, you know what? I'll just fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't keep doing this, So end up letting my attorney go because I just couldn't afford it no more. Child support stopped. But then years later, I'm talking about years later, I get a letter from the IRS stating that they're holding my return or whatever because I owe child support for the state of South Carolina. I never received notifications. I didn't receive requests to come to court. I didn't receive anything. When I contacted the state of South Carolina, they said, oh, they transferred the case. I said, how could they transfer a case? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know if I'm making the same thing, whatever the case may be. Well, she presented paperwork for the state of Tennessee, the old paperwork from the state of Tennessee. And they started the child support on that. But never sent me any notification or anything.
Wow. So at this time, DNA results have not been confirmed. Like, they're still...
No DNA results.
Wow.
And so I reached out to several attorneys. I reached out to one in South Carolina, and they said, well, no, you need to reach out to, an attorney in time I still in Tennessee, I need to have an attorney in Tennessee. I reached out to an attorney in Tennessee, and Tennessee said, well, no, you need to reach out to a state where, where she is.
Right.
I finally got both of them on the phone, and they both were just like, we gonna be honest, man, nobody gonna take this case. Because it's just too much.
Wow.
So, here I am, even to this day, I still don't know if this child is mine. They're still saying I owe child support. Every so often I get a request where they take money from my checks for the support that they said I owe. They've yet to even confirm that this child is mine.
So let's talk about how mentally taxing this is, right? Because you're going through a system that is designed not for you, obviously, it's for the mom. And as someone that is doing the next right thing, we're not talking about the deadbeat dads out here, right? We're not, like, they're in a whole nother different lane. We're talking about the person that is absolutely law-abiding, doing things, being supportive, wants to be involved in the child's life if the child is theirs, right?
Exactly. At the end of the day, because like they're taking money from my check, and at the end of the day, if this child comes back to not be mine, guess what? Nothing happens to her. Nothing happens to her, and it's not like I get a refund. That's very unfair. That's very unfair.
So we're talking
the
about
system is broken.
Amen. Like, we're talking about a system that is not designed to support the male that wants to be an advocate for his seeds. Like, it doesn't put you in a position to do that. And I'm thinking from an emotional, mental health standpoint, if you're going through this turmoil of just back and forth, not really knowing what's the next thing or how am I going to be short this month, or, it seems that it is set up to fail. Either way.
It is. Because there have been times, man, like really, I mean, I've worked several jobs just to make sure, I have ends to meet, have money to meet, my necessary needs. They don't take into consideration that, rising rent costs, bills, utility costs, all that. I'm not even talking about the need for having a car and paying car note and insurance and all that, but I'm talking about all the other needs, housing, utilities, food, all that stuff. Because initially when I first went on, talking what this make it $12.50 an hour back then, like it was days that I didn't even eat. I had to make sure my daughter had, but it was days that I couldn't even feed myself, but as long as my daughter had what she, needed, I was okay.
So if you could just share, just give me a glimpse into what it will look like for you mentally, emotionally during this time in your life. Like, what was that like for you?
It's very depressing because, like, you feel like you want to give up hope. Like, seriously.